Hello and welcome to Everybody Dice Play, 7th Continent. Now, I've already done a bit of setup here, so it won't be going straight from the beginning. I'll also preface this by saying this is the second time we've shot this because we had a camera error. So this is very much a story-driven game and there will be spoilers ahead. I've already spoiled a lot of this for myself, so at times it will probably seem like I really know what I'm doing. However, it gets to a point where I don't know what I'm doing, so hopefully it will become a bit more of a mystery at that point. I'll probably let you guys know as well partway through where I've gotten to before and what I need to do to carry on. So, a little bit about this game. It's probably about as close to a choose-your-own-adventure book as I've ever played in a board game. Essentially, we're going to have a map in the centre of the board and we're just going to be exploring. The idea is that we are cursed and on the 7th continent exploring it for the first time. The idea is we have to try and get rid of our curse before we succumb to the elements. I believe it's a notoriously hard game, and usually you can play this cooperatively with up to 4 players. At least with this version in the game, I'll get to that in a moment. But I'm playing this solo. Basically the thing that is different to playing solo as to when you're playing in a group is that you have in your satchel, you have some limits onto what you can actually have in your personal inventory. Obviously you can have more things when you're playing on your own. So for example, I can have 5 skill cards in my hand, 4 bonus cards, and I'm allowed to equip 4 items, which can all hold up to 3 attachments to it to make it a 4-pronged item, I suppose is the way you'd say it. We are playing the Classic Edition, not the Kickstarter Edition. So this version actually has 2 less characters, 1 less curse, and it's also missing all the exclusive cards. So I've done a lot of the setup here. I've already put my action deck together. That basically serves your life force. We're playing with the Voracious Goddess curse, which is the one that it says that you should start with. This is technically still my first time playing it. I've not played through an entire curse to completion yet. So what you have to do is you start off by reading an excerpt from the book, followed by the back of the curse. So we'll start by doing that. Okay, so 1907, a renowned explorer, you have just come back from the first expedition on the 7th continent, a mysterious land that was recently discovered off the coast of Antarctica, and probably the very last terra incognita in the world. You are recovering from your adventure when, whilst reading the daily newspaper, you realise that several other members of the expedition have disappeared suddenly for unknown reasons. Coincidentally, you have been lethargic for a few days, feeling feverish and finding it difficult to get up from bed. A cold shiver runs up and down your spine. You have to face facts, and evil is consuming you from within. At nightfall, you fall into a restless sleep without knowing that, for you, this is only the beginning. So that's our drive for going back to the island. Essentially, we've decided there is a curse on us and we need to go and try and get rid of it. Today, I am going to be playing with Mary Kingsley. She has a special skill that during the item step of an action you're involved in, you may discard 1 card with the keyword skill from your hand or your inventory in order to apply the following effect, the Lucky 7 effect, which essentially we'll be drawing cards whenever we have to make a skill check from this deck here. Whenever we do, if any 7s appear on that automatically counts as 1 success, and they kind of stack up over time. So the more of those lucky 7s you've got in front of you, you're multiplying your successes. So I can do that to ensure... When can I actually do that? I can do it during the item step. Okay, that's good to know. What's also important is it means that Mary's 5 skill cards are mixed into this deck, which I did earlier, along with the 4 blank curses and the actual curse for the Voracious Goddess, which are all in this deck as well. We'll explain more about that when they actually come up. Apart from that, then you mix all the items together and that's what forms your action deck there. I've already got the number 10 card out here, and I'll read what the Voracious Goddess curse is all about. Since you returned from that expedition, the vision of a strange gloomy idol that seems to be calling you has been haunting your nights. The piercing cries of a few seagulls pull you out of a deep slumber. They sound so strange, as though they were laughing. You try your best to understand. Where on earth are you? How did you end up in this place? Your memories are clouded and you seem unable to remember. While sifting through your journal, you come across a handwritten sheet upon which something that looks like a route was drawn, along with several statues. As it so happens, one of the statues looks exactly like the idol from your restless dreams. So essentially, the way I can see this is we're looking for a certain statue, and we have this map just here as our clue. So that belongs in our satchel, so we can go back and look at that whenever we want. We've got a vague idea of where we want to move across this map. We have to put the number 10 card into play, which has a bit more text to it. Thick columns of yellowish smoke rise up from cracks in the volcanic rock. To the east, the peaks of a rocky cliff look down, mocking the ocean below. Then we flip that up, and that is our starting point. So, we have to decide where we want to go. At the moment, the only thing we have in our hand is our skill card. We don't have anything. We can start looking around. So first of all, we need to populate the map a bit. So, whenever you see these 1 symbols there, you're meant to put out one of these randomly from the box and put those out. So basically for our first action, we can't move anywhere yet. We can flip these for free. So usually the actions you can take are denoted by white boxes on the map. The stone that's in the corner is any cards we have in our hand, any skill cards. We can use that to make crafting it a little bit easier. So it's kind of implied that we've got a few supplies ourselves to be able to craft a few items. But we can just make it easier for ourselves by using the natural resources nearby. We can observe over here, but we don't want to do that. What we want to do is move up here first. So like I said, we've got these blue diamonds here which say how many cards you have to draw in order to take the white box action. Then the stars is how many successes on those cards you have to draw. I'll get to that when we actually have to do it. So let's do this for free. We'll flip that over. What do we have? We have an event. Spider bite. Your calf is itching uncomfortably. Examining it, you notice a nasty red spot. You must have been bitten by a spider, and you can only hope it has not laid its eggs under your skin. Oh my god. Only the active player is forced to take the following action. So, right now, I have that action right there. I have no cards at all right now. So, I can't do anything to help myself in this action. All it says is in the blue diamond that it's 0+ cards, so I can take as many cards as I want from there to try and attain 2 stars. But the important thing is I have to decide when I'm going to stop before I can actually look to see how many successes I've got. So gaining 2 successes from 2 cards is very unlikely. Luckily in the book it does give you kind of a chart on a percentage. So on drawing 2 cards, needing 2 stars, you have a 45% chance. I do not like those odds. I'd much rather draw 3 when the chances are about 75% I'm going to pass it. So what I'll do is, from the action deck, I'll take 1, 2, 3 cards. If I had an item tell me I had to do it before I did that, and now I'm going to choose to flip them over. You cannot choose to draw more cards if you fail. So let's see what we got. I have 2, and you know what? Those 2 join together there. So at the moment, if I did not have that and I just had those 2 half stars, it wouldn't count. But because I've got them on both sides, means I can do that to make 1 star. So I've got 3 stars. So that is a pass for that. However, this is where basically our time starts to run out, because 2 of these cards are going to get added to the discard pile. 1 of them I can take to my hand. Now fortunately I've drawn 3 really good cards. I can guarantee a 2-star success. However, it will involve taking a 101 card, which is probably going to be a negative status effect. I don't know whether I want to do that. I don't think anything's so urgent just yet. No, actually, no, I will take that. If I start having bad stuff happen to me, then that's my own fault. Okay, so that's done. That now goes over into the past. So in other words, I can't draw that card again, although it could possibly happen later. But for the time being, that's not going to happen again. And after that event, we draw a card to put up there. It's card 7. So, further to the north, the terrain slopes steadily down to the water. So there we go. We've got nothing else to put out right now. Now to move up there, it is going to cost 1 card from there. We want to move up there though, so I'm going to do that. It's a curse. So, this doesn't mean anything bad right now. It simply means if I needed a success, it has no successes on it. This is probably the best time to draw that because we don't need any successes in order to move. We just need to discard a card. So that actually is great. So I can move him up to there. Now, what do we want to do next? We've got an observe action, or we have... So the different symbols all mean different things. So we've got a spot and observe action, or we have a go see and investigate action. For the time being, let's do a go see and investigate action. So we have to draw 1 card. We're going to choose to take that into our hand because we need some items right now. This one also allows us to put a fire figure into play, which is kind of cool. Allows us to take rest actions. So, actually no it doesn't, no. I'm talking rubbish. Requires a wood though to craft it and get a bonus on it, so at the moment we'd have to discard 2 cards in order to build that. But we need to finish off this action anyway. We need card 18 to go out next to build up our map some more. There we go. You have reached the northern end of the island. You have no idea how much time it would take you to reach an area with more abundant resources, but one thing is certain. If you stay on this barren slab of rock, you are bound to starve. So, there we go. That goes up there. Let's read this. The many reefs that surround the island would surely wreck any craft trying to approach or leave. However, you might be able to swim through them. The sea is calm right now, but this is not a time to be reckless. I don't like the idea of swimming off through that, so we're not going to do that. And essentially this gold arrow just here, pointing down at that, means you can't take that action again. So, but we do have a new action up there, which is to attempt to swim. Like I said, I don't really want to do that. So we're going to come over here and we're going to observe this part over here. Don't need to draw any cards, don't need any successes. We just need card number 11. Okay, there's a bit on the back that just explains that if you're playing a certain curse, you have to draw a different card instead. However, we are not. It does not line up with the curse that we have there, so we can just carry on as normal. Okay, what have we got here? A man is lying face down among the rocks. Approaching closer, you notice his clothes are torn and tattered, and his body is swollen and puffy. Parts of the body are mutilated and the man's skin bulges with what looks like large eggs. Gross. Okay. So we are going to take this action just here, which is a search action. So we have to draw 1 card for that. We don't need any successes for it. So we have snowshoes. Might as well take it into our hand because we just don't. We don't have a full hand of cards right now, so every little helps right now. Although it's not a very useful card, seeing as we're not really in snowy terrain right now. Okay, let us draw card 31 and then return that one. So then that one gets returned. Card number 11. So when it says return, you actually put it back into the box in the place that it actually says. Otherwise, you just carry on through this. Okay, so the waves violently pound the rocks, splashing your face with sea spray. You inch towards the body along the slippery rocks, trying your best not to fall into the water. So this one actually has a skill challenge to it. So we have to draw a minimum of 1 cards, and we need 3 successes. We already know we can guarantee 2 successes from here, so it's whether we want to chance 1 card or 2. A lot of cards only have half a success on, and even still we're hoping to get more than that. So let's draw... I already know this is quite important, so I might actually draw a 3rd just to make absolutely sure, and we can hang on to that card if we if we succeed straight away. So, okay, that's lucky because one of them was a curse, and we only have 1 success off of here. So, what I'm going to do is you may discard this during the results step, which we're on now, of an action you are involved in order to apply the following effect. Add 2 stars and take a 101 card. So, yeah, this isn't ideal, but you are feeling increasingly drowsy and you are struggling to stay awake. You cannot wait to find a safe, comfortable place to rest. So, you are tired. We don't lose any cards for it, but it could become a real bane in the future should we not get rid of it. It has given us the white action to rest though, so that's kind of cool. The only thing is we need 2 successes during it to actually get rid of the card. So we do have to take a number of cards that kind of just simulates time moving by. So that gets discarded now. We've succeeded. We can choose to take one of these into our hand. We could, so remember is quite a good one. Choose 1 skill card in the discard pile and add it to your hand and discard this. Or we could make some rope. Rope is going to be very handy, I think. So I think we're going to do that. We'll lose the remember this because I don't think there's anything. We've got one of our skills in there that would be really cool to have, but I don't think it's going to be as useful as a rope. So we need to resolve this now. What does it say? You managed to keep your balance. Take a 32 card from the adventure deck if able. 32. Now that the danger has passed, you search the body, wasting no time. And we found a metal gear wheel, a small metal gear wheel found on the body of a naval officer. Amazing stuff. I know that that is very important. That is a quest item. That is perfect. Okay, so one of the other things is there is the possibility that there could be some numbers on some of these cards. They indicate hidden things that you can find along the way, although I don't think I've seen any just yet. Okay, discard this card and replace it with a 139 card. 139. So yeah, you can probably see already that this is a choose your own adventure book. It really is. With a few kind of decisions to make with skill checks and stuff. So here we go. Judging by the insignias on his jacket, this man was once a French naval officer. Despite being worn and faded, you can still make out a name. FT-16 La Rochelle. Probably the ship to which the man was assigned. Unfortunately, there is nothing else worthwhile on him. So, okay. We're done there. At this point, I think all we can do is keep moving. So we're going to move back down to where we were before. Shovel, very nice. I will take that. Then, have I got anything that needs stone to build first? Yeah, I do actually. I'm going to build a shovel here. So on your cards, you'll notice that you have a white wrench at the top of them when they're in your hand. In order to craft them, these will help you to reduce that if you're currently on a square which has a resource that's listed at the top there. We have some stone here, so we'll actually get to -2 cards from that, so we only have to draw 1 card in order to successfully craft this. So we'll draw 1 card. Again, on the check, we're allowed to take it into our hand, so yeah, I'll take that. That will go nicely. Then I'm going to craft this. So it has 4 durability to it for the time being. I'll show you how that works again if we ever get to it. And we now have something else. We have a bolas, which actually as well could be used. It's a one-time use thing, but it could be really, really useful if things pan out right. So I think we're actually going to take the chance whilst we're on a stone space to also craft this into our next spot there. So we have to draw 1 card because we get a -1 to the 2 cards we have to draw because of the space we're on. And we've got ourselves a walking stick, and actually that's really good because the walking stick can actually allow us to move for free, but it does take wood to reduce it down, so I'm not really in a rush to craft that just yet. Our bolas though, it's a one-time use item, but I think that's going to be worth it, especially if we get the chance to hunt. If we do that, then we're in a really strong position right now. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this for free. Let's see what we've got. Oh, nice! We've got a bonus. Don't get these very often. Thinking back on the last few days before you left for the expedition, you remember your excitement at the prospect of all the discoveries you dreamed of making. If players have 3 or more cards with the keyword fetish, take a 420 card and banish this. Okay, so I can use this whenever I want. So for the time being, I'm going to just take that into my hand. I'm currently allowed to carry 4. So yeah, I'll wait until I get a fetish item, which I don't know whether I've ever seen a fetish item before. But okay, we actually have to draw the 9 card as well. That's good though. That was a positive outcome. I like it. So the ground is totally barren here. In fact, the only vegetation among your surroundings are clumps of red seaweed clinging to the rocks. Plumes of yellowish smoke spurt from the ground from time to time, swirling around a dead seagull. Okay, so that goes there. We don't put anything there because we've just come from there. However, we need 2 more fogged up areas. 1 there and 1 down there. Okay. At this point we have some decisions to make. Do we want to investigate over there? I don't think I really do. I think what I'm going to do, so I'm going to move over to there. So I'm going to draw 1 card for the movement. A bow, very nice. I shall take that to hand. And then move across there. Right. A couple of things we can do here. I think the first thing I'll do is I'm going to flip this down here first. Sea urchins. The ground is covered with hundreds of little reddish creatures that look like sea urchins. You'll have to tiptoe through the colony if you want to continue this way. Each character getting involved in the following action may discard any number of cards with the keyword skill from their hand and or inventory. For each card discarded this way, you get 1 success during the result step. And we have to draw 1 card, and we need 2 successes. So what do I have with skill written on? Oh no, I could lose my rope. I don't know whether I want to do that. I think I might lose my rope, I think. I'm going to draw one. I'm going to use the skill card there, the rope, and hope that I get a success off this. I do! Cool. Okay. And then I can take that back into my hand. Cool. So we've succeeded that. You make it through unharmed, discard this card. Great. Okay, so we need card 6. It would be really cool to actually play this game on a stream, I think, if ever we get to a point where we can do that and actually play this along with you guys. Unfortunately, we don't have the cameras to be able to do it right now. None of them kind of like hook up and stream successfully to our computer for the time being, so unfortunately we just can't set it up. Don't have the equipment for it. We certainly want a better overhead camera if we ever decide to do that as well. Right, so card 6. There is no smoke here. Some moss and even a few bamboo-like canes grow in this area. There we go. So all we have is one spot where we can observe. So how do we want to do this? I think we flip this card next. We'll just try and get as much of the map as possible out here. So we'll flip that. Weaver fish. A weaver fish is hiding in the muck and you just happen to see it at the very last second. Beware of stepping on its sharp, poisonous dorsal spine. Okay, so we need, this is an observation check, and we need 1 success out of it. I currently don't have anything that's going to help my observation. I don't think I really want to apply Lucky 7. And I don't have a skill card anyway. How many cards am I going to draw? I'm going to draw 2 to try and get through this. Oh my god, easy. Easily done. I could have drawn 1. How many cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have to discard 1 in order to take that card, because that is a really good card. The 4-1 is for armed. You may discard this during the result step of an action you were involved in order to apply the following effect. Add 1 star. It's just a success for free. So, and it's during the result step too. So I'm going to get rid of think. I'm going to take forewarned is for armed, and the club can go away because I already have a weapon. Okay. By sheer miracle, you avoid getting stung. That one goes away. We draw our green card, which is card 15. The terrain is split in 2 by a small bay. So at this point, we have to make a balance check if we want to go onto the other side. Do we want to move onto the other side just yet? I could try and rest and get rid of my tired. No, I don't want to because I can't guarantee it just yet. And it would be a disaster if I do that and then don't pass. So we're going to try and move across here. So we need to take a balance check. We have to draw 3 cards and it requires 1 success. We're only going to draw 3. I don't think we need to draw any more than that. And considering that I have a guaranteed success in my hand as well means there's no risk here, but it would be nice to save that for another day if we get a success here. Yeah, we've got 1 success. Actually 2 successes, sorry. We've got lots of half stars and only 1 of them is on the other side. So we can have 2 successes out of that. No problems there. We got either, I think, a rudimentary flint, or we've got ichthyologist. What's that? You may take 1 additional 200 card or 2 additional 300 cards if I ever take the fishing action. I currently don't have any fishing actions on the board. So I really don't want to do much there. This island isn't so much about surviving on it, it's just about getting off it as quickly as possible. So I'm going to take the think card, I think, and I'll put those two back over there. Okay, put an 017 card into play. A 30-foot long submarine is hanging from 2 cranes, keeping it above the surface of the water. There is not a soul in sight. What else does it say? Unless it's already there. Each involved character moves their figures onto it, so we get to move there for free. That's very cool. We are going to investigate the submarine. So we draw out card 22. There we go. The cranes support the submarine above the water by chains attached to either end. Okay. So, let's read that, sorry. Each chain runs through a pulley located at the top of the crane, lowering and submerging the submarine. Obviously requires great precision and skill. Okay, so we are only allowed to draw 1 card for this to lower this submarine into the water, and we have to have 1 success. I do have items that can help me out here, so having that discard to guarantee 1 success is going to be a huge help here, but we might not need it. We're going to go ahead and do that. So we're drawing our 1 card. Like I said, usually if you're playing with multiple people, can help. If people are on the same space as you, they can help you with actions. They can, even with move actions and things like that, I believe they can say, oh, I'm going to move with you, and so you can just all move as a group. Essentially, as long as someone's on the same space with you, if you take an action, they're allowed to take the action with you and contribute towards it. However, when you have the padlock symbol on there, they're not allowed to help you. They're not allowed to give more cards or use abilities in order to do that. However, we are allowed to. So if we wanted to use an item beforehand, we could. We're not going to. Let's see how we do. We do not have a success. So, to guarantee it, I'm going to use this, which I discard during my results step. That goes to there, counts as a success. And I'll take Knowledge's power into my hand. That will be fine. Okay, what happens now? The chains do not break. The submarine is back in the water. Return the terrain card you are standing on and replace it with a 24 card. Then discard this. Okay. So return, we put that back in, spot 17, and we take card 24. The submarine is in the water. Now set off as quickly as you can. You never know what could happen. Okay. And that goes into the past. Right, let's take our search action here, which we can do for 3. We need card 37. We are very close to where I had to stop. So stepping into the submarine, you see that the 4 occupants apparently took anything of use. Okay, and we go straight to more story. Entering the control room, you immediately check the remaining fuel. All you have to do is restart the engine and you'll be able to leave this blasted place. Okay, this is where I got to. So we've gotten that far. So now we are completely flying blind. This part here, I know we need 2 gears and we have 1 of them. So somewhere on this island, there is a 2nd gear. The only place we haven't explored is down in this corner, and I know for a fact that if I still had my rope, we could climb up here quite easily and look down there. I don't know, when I did it before, there was nothing of use there. There was a place that you could go and rest, and there was a point that you could swim out on, which was very, very high risk, and I didn't try last time. For the record, I have tried swimming up on this card just here, and on this card you just notice there's a shark and have to go back to shore. Nothing actually happens there. I know that this just adds an easily obtained vine. This has a seagull on it that that you can't. I don't know what happens when you get to it. I know I did it one time before, and I had to take an injury card, so I don't really want to do that. So these are the things that are already spoiled for me at this point. I also know that this up here is another swimming action away, and that doesn't end well if you fail. So this is the point where I did not know what to do. That's what makes me think there's a hidden number on one of these cards somewhere. I've tried praying before, and that didn't end well, but it could be useful, because I figure what you need to find is more sailors. So what have I got that I can craft right now? I have a bow that's only good for attacking. I don't really want to do that right now. It's not going to be of use. I have a think, which doesn't really help me too much. A knowledge is power that will get me an experience point if I succeed at it. I have a walking stick that helps me move. I have snowshoes, which are useless. I have a friction fire, which right now is pretty useless, if I'm perfectly honest. And then the one where I need 3 or more cards with the word fetish on, which is a side quest, which is kind of useless at the moment. I don't think there's anything I can craft that's going to help me right now, so I don't want to just burn through cards. But you know what, let's pray on this base and see what happens. So we'll draw a card. We didn't need a success. Whatever the cost, you may discard this result during the result step of an action you were involved in order to apply the following effect. Randomly draw 1 additional card from the discard pile, adding its successes to your total. If the action is a failure, each involved character takes a 101 card. Okay, I'll keep that. That's going to be useful, and I'm going to get rid of my snowshoes, wherever that was, because that is rubbish. Okay, so we need to draw card 39. You come across 2 marked graves, very likely the crew of the submarine. The ground here is very rocky, and whoever tried to bury them here appears to have attempted to dig a proper grave before giving up and covering the bodies with stones in the form of cairns. Okay. You meditate for a while pondering the demise of the deceased, while hoping to avoid their fate. Immediately after this card is revealed, take a 666 card, and after resolving it, apply the following effect. Okay, so let's do that first. Let's draw the 666 card, and we'll remember we've got more on there eventually. Let's see, 666 card. There we go. A veil of fog mysteriously forms around the grave. Luckily, the veil quickly vanishes. Your instincts tell you that you have been lucky this time. Cool. So nothing happened there. For each curse card in the discard pile, randomly take 2 cards from the discard pile and shuffle them back into the discard deck. Sorry, back into the action deck. Oh man, that's actually really useful. So how many curse cards are in the discard pile? We have got 1, 2. So we get to take 2 cards from the discard pile and shuffle them back into the action deck. So what that has done is it's given us more wood and stone to be able to craft items. It hasn't given us anything else though. There's no numbers on the graves or anything like that. Is there any clues anywhere on this board as to what we do? Because literally the only thing I've never tried doing is swimming from the point that you find up there. Unless there's something somewhere that I've missed. Maybe a number written on something. So what I kind of feel like I'm going to do is I'm going to start to look through. I'm going to start to look through all of the cards and start trying to see if I can see a hidden number. Because honestly, at this point, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to try. I know if I can find a raft somewhere, I definitely know that building a raft is really going to help me at this point. So, the dodgy thing is every time I walk over here, it's risking it every single time. So do you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm at least going to reveal the 164 card at first. So I'm going to draw one card. It's a curse. I didn't need a success, so again, that's not so bad. We put that down there because, like I say, there are hidden numbers on here in places. And if you see a hidden number, you exchange a card for another one, and there's extra stuff involved. So I really cannot see anything on any of these. It probably doesn't help I'm having to have them down here. Ooh! 014. On this card right here, it says 014. It's kind of got some footprints on it. I'm not sure whether you can do it when you're not on the card or whether it's on there. I'm really sorry, I really need to check this on here. But this is the only reason why I really thought it was worth doing that. Simply because spotting a hidden number. Some terrain and permanent event cards contain hidden numbers. When players find one, they may discard the card on which they spotted it and replace it with the card bearing that number. It doesn't say that you have to be on that spot. So, I'm going to find that 014 card. And what you do when you look on there is you check to see that there's a number there. This one does. It has a thumbs up and a 006. So that card is 006, so it gets replaced by that one. And there is a search spot there. So that could be our key here. Man, it's one of the things that's really disappointing about having to play this a second time is you don't get to see me excited when things are getting solved, because I've done most of it before, so I'm glad we've got something out of this. We need to draw our 164 card anyway for that one. Before I do anything else. Gaze upon the wide, endless ocean. The surface rough and choppy, and the salty spray from the waves is enough to tell you that the water is freezing. Swimming away will certainly not be easy. On the other hand, if you stay here for more than a few days, you will likely die. So that goes there. We need to start moving at this point. That should actually be over there. So we need to start moving towards that area. Like I said, nothing else on this map, as far as I know, is really of use. We could craft a couple of bits. Oh, I actually have 6 item cards in my hand. Did I forget to discard the snowshoes? No, I didn't. I'm going to get rid of the friction fire then. Okay, so let's start to get moving. So unfortunately we have to balance our way across there again. So we have to draw 3 and hope that we get 1 success out there. We have 2 successes, and we also have a raft, which I'm going to take into hand right now, and I'm going to lose the knowledge is power. Item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. So we succeeded with that. Moved across to there. Let's draw 1 card. It's a splint, which is good for healing. So something I really should get rid of at this point. So what have I got that is doubled up on? I kind of feel like the walking stick I might get rid of. I forgot to craft whilst I was still there. I could have crafted the walking stick and not have to discard anything, but hey, let's do that. Let's discard the walking stick, which allows us to move down to there. I might do some hunting in a bit, because I don't know what actually happens when you succeed at it, and I'm pretty sure I can succeed at it. So you know what, let's actually do that first. Let's discard a card. A deadfall trap, I mean it's good, but I don't think we need it right now. And let's draw card 12. From the few tracks you spot on the ground, it seems that a small animal was recently here. You hide and wait in silence. So we have hunting action. I kind of want to see. I haven't gotten far enough in this yet to see what food and stuff like that actually does. So I kind of want to do this right now. So we're going to do it. We have to draw 2 cards, but I'm going to apply my bolus item first. That guarantees at least 3 successes. So this is going to draw at least one card out of there. Let's see what happens. We have to draw 2 cards anyway. And we've got another 2 successes, another 3 successes, because we've got 2 half cards there as well. So we are looking at a grand total of 6 successes. That's phenomenal. Do I want any of them? Not really. But, like I said, 6 successes, not to be sniffed at all. So, depending on the number of successes you obtain, take the corresponding number of 30 cards. For 6, we get to take 2. Cool. So, 30, where are you going to be? We've got a bunch of stone-eating crabs. Okay, let's do these one by one. First one, take 1 001 card. Here we go. We've got 1 meat crustacean. Then we get, with the other one, we are allowed to take 2 1 cards. So, man, I could run out of inventory space here. Okay, so what we can do is we can combine these. So, we could do that. We could do that, because they're food and stamina. And that allows us to pop that up to 3. And at this point, a fire actually becomes quite useful. So at some point, we can build a fire, and it allows us to heal a whole lot more from the discard deck. So I got rid of one of our means of making a fire. I got rid of our only means of making a fire. So it depends how desperate we get. If this deck starts getting pretty low, I'll probably do these without a fire. We'll just see what we get otherwise. Okay, reveal them. If at least one involved character is bloody, you must discard one of these cards without the keyword predator. We don't have that. Choose one of the remaining cards which represents the result of your hunt. And return the other cards. Oh, okay. Oh, so we only get to choose one of them. Okay, in that case, I would have taken the 2 card. Let's drop that back down to 2. Because I would have taken 2 of those. That can go back in the deck. Because that's silly. Right, and it said choose one of the cards which represents the result of your hunt. And discarding means that take 1 card goes back to there. That also goes away because they get discarded after use. Okay, cool. That was my mistake. Let's carry on. It then gets switched over to its gold side. So we find the 12 that's in here now. So when you organise your decks on here, you always make sure the gold card is at the back, so you always end up taking from the front first and drawing the 12 card first at the front. Now we replace with the gold card, which says, apparently there is not much more food in this desolate land than you have already found. You realise you had better ration what you have if you want to make it through. Immediately after this is revealed, one involved character may discard 2 cards from their hand in order to choose 1 card in the discard pile and add it to their hand. Ooh, are any of these pretty useless? I want to keep my bow, I want to keep whatever the cost. The splint and think are the 2 that I'd be willing to give up. And then I'll take 1 which allows me to build a fire. Yes, I shall do that. So, that one built a fire with 2 cards. Let me have a look, because I've got a feeling a fire making kit allows me to make it with 2 cards. It costs 2 to make, that costs 2 to make. I could make that back there when we're about ready to go. So yeah, I'm going to take that one. So they both go into the discard pile. Pop that down there. Okay, things are moving along nicely now. And now I feel like we should do that search action there. So it's free 1, so we need card 16. There is something in there. Following the scampering crab, you notice a gleam at the entrance to the hole. You crouch down and reach into the hole to take the object. It's only the 2nd Metal Gear wheel. Perfect. We don't even have to do anything for it either. That is absolutely bang on. Right, that means surely we can get off this island now. Okay, let's start moving towards there. So it takes 2 cards to move off of this one. So let's do that. 2 cards. Right now, there's nothing I want to change from my hand. Everything's kind of important. To move to there. We're going to take this action here again, so we're going to have to balance. We need 1 success. We've got our 1 success. In fact, we have a whole 4 successes on there. Very nice. That brings us right over there. I want to make a fire at this point. We've got some wood there, so I only need to draw 1 card to do it. Need no successes. Oh, I still can hold a card in my hand, so I can take that one. Successfully put that out, which is a 1-use thing. I'm then going to use it, so unfortunately I have to draw 2 more cards. Is this more trouble than it's worth? I really don't know at this point. 2 cards, they're both curses, that's fine. We'll put those in there, and then we're allowed to put a fire figure in, so that gets discarded. Our fire token goes up, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start using these before we leave the island. So first of all, we'll drop that down to a 1, which allows us to take 6 cards for free back from there. And then we get to return that back to the deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, just to save doing this twice, I'm going to say I use the other one again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Throw that down. That is our discard pile. And we shuffle all these back in. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, this is going nicely. Okay, then these get returned. Let's put them at the back of the ones. Although I think they're all the same, if I'm perfectly honest. We're going to do this now. So, what this means on here, down the bottom there, where it says to take card 21, then you have the 2 gears. You'll notice each of the gears have +6 written on them. So what that means is we're actually going to add 12 to that 21 and therefore take number 33 out of there. We have to discard a card anyway to take this action, so let's do that. Learn by doing. Oh, that's quite a good card. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to take that into my hand. Oh, I got rid of that bolus a while back as well. That should actually be gone at this point. All I have is a shovel. So entering the control room, you immediately check the remaining fuel. All you have to do is restart the engine and you'll be able to leave this blasted place. So we're not going to take card 21. We're going to take card 33. And again, what we're going to have to do is just check on the back of the card to make sure we've got the thumbs up, which we do. That's good. Ooh, good gravy. The submarine's engine rumbles to life and begins to steadily hum as it settles into gear. You pull away from the shore and leave the island without further delay. The control room is cramped and uncomfortable, despite the noise from the engines and the head-spinning fuel smell. You are all too happy to be the captain of the submarine, at least for a little while longer. Good, I am the captain of a one-man submarine. Perfect. After navigating for about 20 minutes, you can suddenly make out the wild coast of the 7th continent in the distance. Luckily, the gauges indicate that you have just enough fuel to get there. Take three cards. Number three. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what these say. A memory from your previous expedition comes to mind. Jimmy, the military demolition specialist, kept repeating, if a stupid rock is stopping you, you'll get rid of it faster with dynamite than with a pickaxe. That is 1 experience point. You remember these words whispered by Emil Z, the zoologist from the previous expedition. I only knew a few of the wild animals we have had to face so far, but experience tends to show that when it goes sish, everything is fine, while when it goes sish, you may want to get ready to fight. Use those sound clips as you like. I ain't gonna stop you. And then lastly, an experience from your previous expedition comes to mind. Daniel M., the team's anthropologist, taught you that prehistoric man's wisdom teeth were designed to replace their molars as they were eroded by the intense chewing of raw meat. These all have little tips on the front as well for actually playing the game. So the continent is home to formidable creatures, so no matter what you like best, fighting or stealth, make sure that you are always prepared for the worst during your exploration. Tip: sometimes it is wise to postpone an action until you have the appropriate equipment, such as climbing, like earlier. Tip: eating cooked food enables you to regain far more cards than raw food. Remember to make fire. We've already taken advantage of that. Isn't that lovely? Okay, banish the 2 Metal Gear Wheel cards that are underneath the satchel and journal card. They move to a special banished area at the back here. Okay. And then banish all green 17 card. Banish a green 17 card. Which is a 17 card? That's this one here. So, no. It was a 17 card. So that went back into here. So 17. Banish it. So it goes into the banish cards over there. Put into play, the active player chooses a 38 card if you head north-northwest, or a 132 card if you head north, or a 198 card if you head northeast. Each player then places their figure onto it. Okay, so judging by the map, oh, that looks like you head directly north on the map there. Like I said, that's our clue, so that's what we have to keep going into. So we want to draw 1, 3, 2. Yes, we do want to draw a 1, 3, 2. And then once we've done this, we're going to stop today. So 1, 3, 2. The area appears to be clear of any danger. However, a few fresh tracks suggest that some animals have passed through here recently. Okay, so that goes up here. This is where we are now. And that's where we're going to leave things off today. I'm going to save our game here. And if there's interest in this video and seeing where it's going, we will do another one of these. Like I said, if there's the interest, this is a really long Let's Play. If you're into it, please let us know in the comments below, and we'll look at doing another one of these sometime soon. I'm really enjoying it, especially at the moment. I'm looking at single player games and what I can play at the moment. If you actually want this game, you can actually find it at the Serious Pulp website. Currently costs £59 on there if you're English like me. Like I say, we've done an unboxing video on this. By all means, go and check that out if you want to see me opening this, see what's inside. I explain a bit more about the differences between the Kickstarter version and this version. If you would like to follow us on the social medias, you can do on Twitter at EverybodyDice and on Instagram at EverybodyDiceShow. If you would like to follow us on Facebook, we have a Facebook page at facebook.com/EverybodyDice. If you would like to, if you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up, a share, maybe subscribe to the channel, and then you can keep up to date as to whether we do another one of these or not. Apart from that, if you've really enjoyed it, we also have a Patreon page you can find at patreon.com/EverybodyDice. There, for as little as $1 a month, you can become a Patreon, where you'll get access to the monthly review poll, the poll to decide what we're going to talk about on our next podcast. You get access to our newsletter, and you get access to our Discord as well, which we occasionally run things like an RPG. I think we're thinking about doing some things with Tabletop Simulator as well. Apart from that, if you want to find more of our stuff, it will be all in one place at everybodydice.com, and there should be some videos on screen somewhere around here. Please do go and check some of those out as well. I'm done with all the spiel, so see you next time. Bye!